Captain Sakir sitting down with Commander Bosch and Lieutenant Terzi. Let's pick that conversation up. You guys just sat down with the captain. You have a big and whole pie. Bosch has a whole pie in front of her.
A rock egg blood pie, I hope.
Don't tell me how to pie.
It's actually gooseberry.
Number one.
Schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
You're looking in good spirits, number one.
Yes, Captain. I have pie.
I see you're putting our newly resized cafeteria replicator to good use.
Of course. I mean, I'm Klingon. I need a big pie.
Well, I am glad to see that it is working. So what do I owe your audience at the mess hall, number one?
Nothing. I just thought I'd sit with you. And Terzi and I just got done in the holodeck. His battle skills are becoming something to admire.
The battler?
Yes.
What? So you have taken up an interest in the battler, Terzi?
Yes. Yeah. It's a really interesting weapon. Have you used one?
I have not, no.
Maybe we should all three spar one day.
I suppose I'll have to take what the humans call a rain check on that.
Fair enough.
As you guys finish your conversation, you get a little comm from the bridge. It's Jumo. It says, Captain, this is Jumo.
Germo? What is it?
We're arriving at the system now, sir. I wanted to let you know because there's that signal seems to have stopped.
Okay. I'm on my way. Keep me apprised. Secure out. We are needed on the bridge.
Clearly. I will be there in a moment. And she just starts to go down on that pie.
Just num 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 num.
Just
Does she not need to make any checks for that pie eating? I mean, like, come on.
Yeah, roll for pie.
Give me a survival. Give me a survival. Let me start.
Survival.
A survival check.
It is. Well, no.
It is
control and
a fitness.
science?
No, a fitness. This is a hard one. I think a fitness command check. There we go.
Okay.
Command the pie.
Commanding the pie now.
Fail, and we will see who devours who.
Oh.
Oh, God.
So, you managed to eat the pie, but there's a complication. You have a stomach ache. A massive stomach ache. You're just
Come
like,
on, I'm Klingon.
Oh,
I know.
Tummy.
But you just like you ate it too quickly. You were just like, I gotta do this fast, and you're just afterwards like, oh, okay, that was a bad idea.
Does she have only one stomach ache?
Yes, one stomach ache. That's why it's weird throwing her off, because it's like one stomach is like, oh, the other stomach is like, I'm fine. It's like, oh, why is my left stomach hurting so much?
I stopped by sick bay on the way and get some Pepto-Bismol.
Pepto-Bismol.
Hey, man. You got a stomach ache?
Do you hey Kit Commander, I got this homeopathic remedy that'll probably work wonders on your stomach.
Just give it to me.
He's like,
It doesn't work.
It's brown. It's the consistency of like almost like Jello, like it's like glops.
Is
and
he
it
giving me
tastes-
an edible?
And it tastes it smells like somewhere between like flowers and like rotted flesh is what it smells like.
Yeah, edibles.
It's not an edible.
You drink it. He's like, you drink it, man. Just go ahead. Trust
fine.
me.
She shoots it.
Okay. Give me another fitness command check for this one.
Oh man, who knew eating pie was going to be such a thing?
Such a complicated thing. You're fine.
Wow.
Like you
Gee,
down it. You're like,
I
you
wonder
go,
why Terzi stuck to his usual.
wait. No, that's fine. It's like you almost instantly feel better. You're like,
I'm fine now. Stop being high.
I'm high on life, Commander. I think they need you on the bridge.
They do. And I go there.
Later, Commander.
If she failed, she'd be ejecting her warp core for the rest of the episode.
Yes.
Guys, I don't know if that's one way or the other way, and I don't want to know the definition. So let's just.
Either way, it's explosive.
All right, see, you guys get to the bridge, and go ahead and give me a control science check.
Me?
Yes, because you're on the bridge. Because as you guys get
Thanks
into the
for
system,
letting me know. Do I get a talent on that, or is it just help from the ship with the sensors?
help from the ships, help from ship sensors, unless you have anything to dealing with like charting systems.
Nope.
Yeah, like astronavigation or something.
Yeah, help from the ship would be
Yep.
value.
Sensors con, I believe, or no, sensor science. Sensor science.
I'll do it. Oh, okay. Somebody will do it. He's already
Yeah,
doing it.
I have the ship open, so
Yeah. Thanks.
Oh.
I didn't roll that.
Oh.
That's not me.
Oh, that hurts. So you succeed, but with a complication. So you're able to detect the system itself is has 3 planets, and then the third planet is an L-class planet. And based off of what you guys have heard from this signal, it's likely coming from that L-class planet, but you're having a hard time picking it up. You're going to need to get closer to the planet to kind of register.
Mm-hmm. What's the complication?
I'll explain it when we get there.
All right. I will relay that to the captain. Captain, the source of the what was it?
Distress signal.
The distress signal is the 3rd planet in the system, and it is an L class according to my sensors.
Very well. Is there anything else in the area?
Is there? No.
Not that you can tell.
Nothing of note.
Understood. If that is all, then Jumo, lay in a course towards that planet.
Aye, Captain. He types in things and off they go. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes for you guys to get into the system, to get there. And when you arrive, you see an L-class planet. It seems uninhabited, but you can do another scan that you're closer.
Yeah, sure, we'll do.
Of course, it's assisted by the ship.
Mm-hmm.
But the ship's sensors pay off. Because it was a difficulty 2, I believe. I keep forgetting to tell you guys the difficulties. It is difficulty 1, so you actually get a momentum.
Damn, we'll get a momentum.
Get a little momentum there. So you're able to, now that you're getting a little bit closer, you're able to tell that there is a partially hidden, so it's like in a crater, slightly covered, a domed settlement. That's there. But there's no signals coming from it anymore, and that signal is stopped transmitting. So.
Interesting. Captain, there is a dome settlement inside a crater, but we have lost the distress signal. It stopped transmitting.
How old does the settlement look? Does it seem like it falls in line with the same age as the original ship that we got the signal from? The SOS was apparently coming from a ship that dated back from the end of the Cardassian War.
How long ago was that?
I have to double check, but I think it was like 20, 30 years ago.
Computer, how long to the date was the Cardassian War ceasefire?
Let's see. The Cardassian War ended in 2366, and it's currently 2371. So it was only about
5 years.
5 years ago.
Okay. Mr. Inaran, does the structure look to be within 5 years of age?
Yes, it does.
It does. Although that is quite the achievement to build something like this in only 5 years.
It's
No
not
doubts.
huge. It's
I have-
it's a small settlement in comparison to like, but it was hard to find
my
in distance.
Do
so.
my oh right, so would my scans determine the material composition of the settlement, and is there any relation to make me think that they stripped down the ship and built a settlement out of it?
There is some like trace elements of Federation hull design in the in there, but there's also some, it looks like, local elements, and you're also picking up high traces of dilithium in the region around it, even in some of the structure itself, as if it's like either been exposed to it or maybe that it was like some of the material was near it when it was constructed.
So it's a source of naturally occurring dilithium on the planet.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. I relay all that.
Okay. Well, I trust you will make records of the dilithium so we can report back to the Federation. That should be a great boon to and the Klingon. I look to our efforts here in the Beta Quadrant.
Kapla!
Mr. Terzi, please open a comm.
Hi, Captain.
Give me a con check that again. A control con check. Ooh, you good? You at first you try to type it in, and then there's some sort of interference where like you're transmitting, but it's garbage at first. But you're able to like clear it up real quickly and then send it off. So now it's open and clear channel is being sent out.
Okay. Attention, settlement on. We don't know the name of the star, do we?
There's no name for the star.
Okay. Attention, supposed Federation settlement. This is Captain Secure of the USS Vasquez. We received a distress signal and made our way here. Is anyone there? Please respond. And like
the screen, the screen pops up almost instantly after you say it, and you see a Vulcan woman standing before you. So it's some chaos in the background. It looks kind of like some sort of rudimentary building. Some metal. Looks fairly primitive in the background. But she stares at you and goes, Vasquez, this is her actual name. This is, I guess, Governor Laura Moore of the new. Wait, put the names here somewhere. The new Pullman settlement. We were the ones who sent the distress signal.
Are you still in need of assistance?
Yes, Captain, but we must talk in person.
Does the name Pullman ring a bell to me, for instance?
Possibly. Give me a insight science check.
Insight science. Difficulty?
Difficulty would be 3.
Ooh, wow, okay. I'll use that momentum we just got.
Okay.
I think technically we should have 2 momentum because our scanners.
Yeah, the control
okay.
was a difficulty 2, and he just knocked it out of the park. So.
Oh, so we had. Okay, so we had 3 momentum. I'm gonna use 2 of those.
Yeah.
We're down to 1. We had 1 back.
Hey, you got 1 back. All right, so The name Pullman is, you recall the story, Ancient Earth, about a Pullman being associated with a famous labor dispute that turned violent in the 20th century. It might be the 19th century. That's probably the most familiar you have with Pullman.
But it doesn't ring a bell that if the missing ship was called Pullman.
No, it wasn't called Pullman. That's the closest thing you can say. The missing ship, you guys already know this, was called the Terran Delight is what it was called. It was a civilian freighter. But she says, I am willing to discuss the matters, but not over an open comm.
Very well, Governor Laura. We will prepare for some aid for your outpost. However, we will need to know the nature of your emergency so we can get prepared as soon as possible.
It has to do with a complication of us being here. We can discuss
technical or medical complication.
Political.
Curious.
Can I read her?
Yeah, go ahead. She's a Vulcan, so it's going to be kind of hard.
Okay.
Difficulty
Difficulty
3.
Difficulty 3. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just do a regular then. What does that be? Insight security?
Insight command.
Insight command. Oh crap.
Yeah.
No.
Nope. It's hard. She's Vulcan. She's blocking pretty bad. She's got a lot of mental blockage kind of stuff going on. So. All right.
Very well. We will prepare an away team. Expect us soon.
Feel free to beam into the main atrium. We will be waiting for you there.
Very well. Secure out.
Permission to come on this away mission, Captain.
Permission granted.
I'm good at politics.
Do my scans indicate any sort of weapons down there?
Give me another
Either
scan.
handheld.
Give me another scan for that. No. There are
no.
you do some what looks like hand phasers, but something similar to a complement of a Federation ship you would see. Nothing tremendous. It doesn't look like they have any kind of defenses built up or anything like that. And with this scan, you're also able to tell that it's very crude. The dome itself is very crude. It's an impressive feat, but it's very crude.
Permission granted, number 1. Whilst Miss Moore may be a Vulcan, it pains me that my people do not always see eye to eye. And so there is no telling what lies in wait for us down on the planet's surface. I would like to arrange for more than just ourselves to beam down. Computer, what would be an ideal complement to take down aboard the planet?
The computer will say off to you the standard Starfleet, security personnel. If there's any medical personnel, to bring some, maybe like a doctor or a medic or a nurse, possibly a scientist. Usually one from each discipline. Science, security, or ops, security, ops or security or engineering, science or medicine, and of course command is usually the typical layout.
Okay. Secure to Baaj, Inaran, Terzi, Call, and Nagata. Meet me at Transporter Room 2 in 5 minutes. Secure out.
Okay,
And
so you've got who's going on this? It's you. It's the Secure, Baaj, Cole, and Inaran, right?
And
Where's
Tersey.
going? And Tersey. And
I wanted all my guys to play with me.
All right.
We're leaning hard into the Star Trek cliche of the entire command
crew goes on the away mission.
Well, if you didn't need like a science officer, I was gonna volunteer since you if you're expecting subterfuge, maybe I could glean something.
Just got Tersey, who's really good at that. It's kind of his thing.
Contact time wireless.
Well, the two of you do work well together, which is why I thought that perhaps you would like to come with us, Inaran.
And Cole's coming too.
And of course, Call is coming too, because their way of living did not seem to be up to standard with with any Federation civilization. So, Call, you might have your work cut out for you.
All right.
All right.
It's been a while since I spent time repairing oxygen scrubbers, but hey, it's a living.
It is a living. Nagata
Go ahead.
is here as well, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Captain, man. How's it going?
Captain Man.
Wait, who's Nagata this time? Like, Darge has been Nagata, HP's been Nagata.
But I
I don't
volunteer
want to do
Buster.
it.
Buster, you want to be Nagata? I can be Nagata if you guys don't want to. You could be Nagata if you want to. Secure.
I'll be in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Go for it, Meyer.
Hey man, I'm changing up the character. Like, okay.
Like Zoink Scoop.
Like, wow. Far out. That hypo was not calibrated correctly. Wow. Ready when you are, boss man. Okay.
I got to lay off the Scooby snacks.
Like,
Hey,
I don't get the
Scooby
reference.
Snacks edibles?
Yes.
The
yes, they
Scooby
are.
Snacks gotta be edibles, right? Yeah.
Well, let's be
All right.
clear. Dogs don't talk. So, yeah.
All right, Scooby Doo. Ruffle.
All right, so you guys beam down to the planet. As you guys are beaming down to the planet, you guys beam into what's behind you is a hewn rock face. It's been cut directly into the rock. Bare rock walls. And in front of you is a large atrium with trees and some wooden buildings. And it's like, you can hear birds chirping. And if you look up, you see a transparent dome that stretches above you. With some hard metal supports between it, and you can even see the Vasquez in the distance, like just barely make it out, and how far it is. It's how clear the view is. And before you is a human, ma'am, and the woman you saw who identified herself as Governor Laura Moore. And she walks before you and says, "Welcome, crew of the Vasquez, Captain Secure. Please come with me. We will discuss the matter in our administration building."
of course. Lead the way.
As she leads you through the atrium, you guys can see people, like children. You see Andorians, you see Vulcans, you see Tellarites, you see humans. You see a few Bajorans, some... maybe a trill or two amongst them. It's a very diverse cross section of the Federation that seems to be walking around, and they're based off of just casual observations. You're looking at maybe 40 or 50 that you can see. It's a smaller area than it seems, so you're able to see a lot of the settlements as you walk in there. But you get to a large metal building. It looks like it was once the fuselage of a ship that was been repurposed to be the administration building of this colony. And you walk in, and the inside is paneled wood with some metal supports, and there's a large table that seems to be like several large tables that seem to be kind of like a cafeteria area. Governor Moore sits down at the end of one of the tables. Before she says, "Please take a seat." And she gestures to the human and goes, "This is my assistant, the I guess lieutenant governor, Gustav Kamiko. He nods. Hello.
Greetings.
Yo.
Please take a seat.
Like, hey man.
What's the problem with him?
I'm just
He's
high on
just-
life, man. Hey. I'm just living life.
So
Yeah.
you all sit down, and Miss Moore kind of sighs a little bit and looks uncharacteristic, for a moment looks uncharacteristically human. Does not look very Vulcan. She has a very obvious worry on her face, like she just kind of dropped the mask for a moment, and then kind of pulls it back up and goes, "That distress signal was our last hope. You see, we were all once part of the crew and refugees fleeing from the Cardassian wars. But thanks to my mother, she had been part of a Vulcan science team that had surveyed this region and had first encountered this star. She knew that there was an L-class planet many years ago. My father was a human. He was the captain aboard the vessel we were on, and when the Federation was negotiating peace with the Cardassians, he felt very betrayed. And you see, this Kamiko, Gustav Kamiko, he's kind of just a little bit. And he's holding his tongue as she's talking. Like he really wants to say something, but he's not saying anything. It's pretty easy to tell. She continues on, says, when we arrived here, it seemed like a blessing. Unfortunately, my father died along the way, and my mother died saving the miners trying to carve out the rock. I am still young, but they turned to me for help. I have been in charge of this colony since then. But we, forgive my friend, we are not too trusting of the Federation.
Given the circumstances of your people, that is not much of a surprise. So, what is the nature of your emergency?
Everything was going well for a while. We seemed to have a good crop, and we discovered a natural source of dilithium. There was discussions about possibly contacting freighters, some passing traders, to see if we could sell the dilithium and improve our standing here in New Pullman. But unfortunately, perhaps with the dilithium came a strange disease which we had no protection from. Many of us died in the coming months. But then, as if an answer to our prayer, we got a contact from a Ferengi vessel. This Ferengi vessel offered us a cure for our disease. It worked. Go ahead.
When the moment you said something about disease, Nagata kind of perked up. He brings up his medical tricorder and he goes, "Oh!" And then he just starts to
Starts like doing things.
yeah.
Give me have Nagata do a controlled medicine check.
Okay, Nagata, where are you at? There you are. Nagata, control medicine, correct?
Yes. Live sound effects.
Control medicine and task roll.
It's
all that
task roll
stuff. 2.
The challenge, the difficulty is 1.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you get a momentum. So Nagata's
Sweet.
readings pull up. There is no sign of a pathogen currently, but there is definitely signs of some antibodies that have been building up, excessive amounts of antibodies that have been building up in both of them.
Does this make sense to me? Like, does dilithium have
No,
like?
there is no
Yeah.
way that that would have made sense. Like, dilithium doesn't trap
Yeah,
like,
it's like a
diseases.
crystal. It's not it's not pathogenic.
But according to like from what you can tell from what she's saying, it was the only thing they could assume because the only thing that changed between was that they discovered the dilithium and then the disease started hitting them.
I'm gonna pipe. But do you have any samples of your mine dilithium for us to scan? Maybe we can glean as to the source of this disease of yours, a bit more accurately than a. Don't mean to sound rude, but a refugee ship's complement of scientific equipment could.
Good.
I was gonna just Nagata pipes up and says, like, perhaps they already have. What was that voice?
We've been asking ourselves ever since you started.
Okay, I'll revert. Okay, the stims fade, and he's like, perhaps they already have, man. Like, hey, do you have like a medical officer or something I can like talk to?
We have a medical officer who will support the ship. Yes, he can talk with you, but let me explain first before we go off. The disease is not our problem. The disease was simply a symptom. You see, we agreed to sell our dilithium to the Ferengi for the cure that they promised. They gave us a sample, and it did seem to work, but it was not replicatable with our technology. As a result, we signed the deal. A week ago, the Ferengi returned, claiming ownership of our colony. You see, the contract we had signed, we did not fully read it. We were in our own haste to not be killed. And we apparently had signed over the rights to the entire colony to this Ferengi.
Oh, man. Dealing with Ferengi, that's bad business, man.
Indeed.
100%.
I'm gonna just mentally communicate to Terzi. I smell a rat. I mean, I don't. It's. I don't know if you understand. It's a human expression. I don't really completely comprehend the entire meaning behind it, but something's off here.
You might notice Terzi do like kind of a physical head nod, but nothing overt.
The Ferengi, his name is Captain Rock. Captain Rock said that he had sold our colony to the Romulans. That was that they would be arriving in a week. That was 3 days ago.
So, that leaves us in a very uncomfortable situation.
Indeed.
A deal between the Ferengi cartel and the Romulan space empire does not really fall into our jurisdiction. If you have sold this planet, which you staked independently, then it would appear that we are not able to help you.
When you say that, that snaps. The other character, Gustav, he kind of slams his fist down. He says, "I told you the Federation wasn't going to help us. Doesn't matter that
You
the
are out of
Ferengi."
line. No.
No,
Do not speak
you.
to me that way.
You Federation
You-
types are all the
you-
same. You.
I am not the Federation. I am of the Klingon Empire. You need to give me that contract, because if anybody knows how to get out of a Ferengi contract, it is me.
Nagata pipes up and says, "You better do what she's saying, man. I've never seen those ridges crossed like that before."
I don't appreciate being yelled at by somebody who has kept his tongue silent this entire time.
This is
Give me the contract at once.
This is worthless. We don't even have the contract anymore. It's the Ferengi. They cheated us out of this. We didn't sign anything like that. They forged it. And if you can't help us, we'll have to help ourselves. We fought the Cardassians before. We'll fight the Romulans just the same.
No, you won't. You have children here.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna. We're not gonna live under Romulan rule. We didn't want to live under Cardassian rule. Federation's worthless. Told you this wasn't gonna work. And Miss Moore kind of puts her hand up and says, "You can see our quandary."
Question. Can you elaborate a bit more on the timeline of the events? In terms of the first case of the disease and your contact with the Ferengi specifically.
We had first contact with the disease within a week of finding the dilithium, which was 2 months ago. The disease spread through some of our members pretty quickly. A few died, but we were able to contact the Ferengi within 4 days of the first signs of the disease.
Was it just a chance encounter with the Ferengi, or did you intentionally seek them out?
They had come by. We saw our sensors picked up their ship approaching our ship. They contacted us first.
They likely entrapped you.
Nagata. Yeah? Do you have any experience with Ferengi virology or pathogens? I don't know.
He does.
Yeah, I do. I think. There we go. Okay. Is there? Mr. Inaran asked before. Do you have any samples of of this pathogen, or in fact, would you be able to extrapolate the nature of this pathogen based off the antibodies that are currently within the bloodstream of our two friends over here? I don't know. Computer.
Yes, he could. But also the Governor Moore says we do have some samples. Our doctor kept a few for study for later purposes, hoping that he could find a vaccine on his own.
And I'd like to take a look at this dilithium of yours.
Yes, I will have Mr. Kameko show you. Kameko kind of grunts, looks at you. Commander Bosch just kind of like stares at you, and then come with me, and then gestures for you to follow him there in Arn.
Nagata, go with him.
Am I going to? I'm sorry. The situation was confusing as to who he was looking at.
But you may stay with me.
Yeah, he was talking. He gestured towards an Arn.
Oh, okay. He just was giving me a dirty look. Okay.
Yeah, he was just giving you a dirty look.
So you have no copy of the contract whatsoever?
We do not.
How
the
would
Ferengi
you...
insisted on keeping the contract.
Not even a copy of the contract. That seems most peculiar.
They're Ferengi.
Are there any security cameras, systems in place that I can go see about? Perhaps with Mr. Tersey?
We're no security. We are simple. We've been living a very simple life. Anything that we have are scans of the vessel that approached us. That's probably the best we have.
Have I left yet?
Yeah, you've left with Kamiko.
I just had an idea about it, but okay. I was gonna contact the ship and ask for scans of any Ferengi warp trails.
You could still do it, couldn't you?
Yeah, you can kind of
Probably. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll assign my staff to keep a lookout for just for any background Ferengi scans.
The second you contact them, they respond back. You mean like the one that's approaching the ship right now? And then, Captain, you get a comm from Jumo, who says, Jumo to Captain Secure.
Secure here.
Sir, we have a Ferengi vessel approaching at high warp towards us.
Captain, we should go back.
Very well. Prepare the transporter room. 5 to beam up. 6 to beam up. 5 to beam
Cap-
up. How many
Captain.
beam up? I'm confused. Yes.
Captain, with your permission, I'd like to remain on the colony, see what I can do to shore up their technology. Regardless of our assistance with their Ferengi situation, I think that's within Federation purview.
And
Very
I'd like
well,
to stay
Chief.
behind with my little suitcase of scanning equipment just so I can see maybe.
And Nagata too, yeah.
Okay.
I should say.
Very well. In that case, 2 to beam up momentarily.
Oh, wait,
Mr.
Turkey.
In Tersey.
3?
Is Tersey coming with us? I was going to ask Tersey if maybe perhaps he could
He's
do
also
something,
muted.
You're the captain, Captain.
but- Okay. Mr. Tersey, are you perhaps in your varied? Can I walk him to the side?
Yes. Yes, you can walk to the side.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Tersey, in your unorthodox experience, are you perhaps versed in perhaps the ways of forensics
Of sorts. Yes.
of sorts? Okay. You wouldn't perhaps be privy to any technology that could allow us to find a copy of this this contract that was drawn up with the Ferengi.
Depends on how it was handled and how it was created and signed. If it was, passed through any of the infrastructure here, possibly there's a copy.
Very well. Before we beam aboard, I shall ask. We shall ask Miss Governor Moore. Governor Moore, was this contract in paper or was it electronically signed?
Electronically signed, but on data pads.
Very well.
Do you have those data pads here?
No, the Ferengi brought them.
So it didn't touch any of your networking infrastructure here.
Not that I know of.
Okay. All right. In that case, Mr. Tersey, you're needed on the bridge.
Aye, Captain.
Transporter room 3 to beam up.
They beam you up. Now we're going to cut to Naren. You're walking with Kimiko, and he is leading you to. You're scanning the dilithium, right?
Yes.
Okay. So he brings you to a pile, like pallets of crates that are filled with dilithium. Kind of pulls it aside. You see the raw dilithium ore there, and he kind of gestures. Goes, "Go ahead."
Yep. You pull out my tricorder and go with the little detachable thingy.
Yeah.
And go.
Okay. So as you're scanning this, give me a control science check.
Yeah, I don't have a talent
No, not for
or
this.
focus.
Hey, you got what you needed. There was only a 1 difficulty. He got to keep telling you the difficulty, so it would be a difficulty 1. So you get it.
Oh.
You get a momentum. It's not that hard. You're just scanning dilithium. You've seen plenty of dilithium. Everyone's seen dilithium. It's common. It's like a battery. Everyone has seen a battery. So you.
Is there anything peculiar about this battery?
Nope. Looks absolutely bog standard normal. It seems higher. It's a pretty rich vein. There seems to be higher, it's like 80% dilithium, which is pretty high for its purity, compared to the rock.
And I'm guessing my science tricorder wouldn't be able to detect any traces of any pathogen.
It could detect pathogens, but there's no traces of any
There's
biological,
nothing here.
no biological pathogens. Simply, people touching it and that kind of stuff. Traces of amino acids, but that seems to be stuff that would come off of skin and stuff like that as they're moving it.
Interesting. At least in my scans, this doesn't seem to be the source of the infection or the disease.
You say that out loud?
I'm just thinking to myself, let's just where is this dilithium mined?
He
Is
gestures.
it surface mines, or is it just like a shaft?
He gestures to the shaft that was behind you when you guys first beamed in. He says, "We were making more space for future residents, and we found the dilithium, so it's down that direction."
Okay. Stand up, walk towards it with my tricorder, and just keep scanning. Not for the dilithium. Maybe try to focus it towards for any biological or microbial stuff.
That would be a difficulty 2 science control check.
Difficulty 2 science control.
Nagata is there so you can assist if
Is
you're
Nagata
working with him.
going with him, or is he going to go to the? Is he going to go to the doctor?
Yeah, because this looks like a different thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that when Dart said he was going somewhere, I told Nagata to go with him because I didn't know where else.
So that's fine. So
okay.
Nagata can assist if you want.
Yeah.
With just assist with science control.
Science control. Yeah.
Ooh, he might need the assist from Nagata.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So 1 second. Nagata. There he is. Science control.
Yeah,
And
science
one
control,
task
and it
roll.
would be 1 task roll.
Okay. Rolling.
So you don't like the lithium seems to be disrupting your scans. The high concentration, the purity of it seems to have you're not picking up anything but dilithium. It's overpowering the local biological scans, so you can't even tell. In fact, you're scanning, and as you're scanning, you turn the corner and you bump into somebody else, and they're like, "Oh, sorry," and you're like,
There's nothing.
"There's nothing." It doesn't even show up that this person is there. So,
All right. I guess I'll try to reconfigure my tricorder and try again, maybe. Because this is annoying me. This is actually annoying me.
difficulty 3 now.
Oh. Can I jerry rig my tricorder a bit?
Okay, give me a.
I mean, because that's one of my focuses. I'm just trying to give myself
It would
some
be an
advantage.
engineering check. It would be a. Give me a daring.
Daring engineering.
Daring
Okay.
engineering. Because you just like pop the back off and like try to like fiddle with it, you know.
And that gets my focus. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, now it's difficulty 2 again.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
And then would be like I said, control
Science.
science. I'll use 1 momentum since we have 3.
And I'm right here, man. If you need me.
Yep, that would be appreciated. Thank you so much.
All right.
Oh, you're
Come on, little tricorder.
okay. So, this is what happens. You jerry-rigged it. You kind of like tweaked the sensors a little bit and then closed it. And as you open it up and start scanning, it blows up in your hand. It literally just poof explodes. You're just like, oh, it doesn't hurt, but like you're like, ow, jeez. But it's like it's in
left hand,
pieces.
cybernetic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it still goes. You like instinctively, you know, like it explodes.
Yeah,
you pull your hand back. You're like, ow. Oh wait. It's gone. It's in pieces. Like it explodes, and then like a couple of people kind of run over, like they're kind of like wearing jumpsuits, and they have like some like mining equipment. And they go, "You okay? What happened?"
I don't like this mine shaft.
Cool fireworks, man. Want to try again with mine?
Difficulty
yes,
3.
Thank you. Damn it! Both momentum.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ambitious. So, wait, would that
You
be
what? If you're ambitious, you could use your determination if you want to.
determination? Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay, it's an automatic critical success, and you use your determination point for this episode. So you get two successes, and
I need 3 though.
oh yeah, so roll, yeah,
So still roll.
still roll, but now you automatically have 2 successes towards this.
Okay. Thank
Hey,
you.
you did it. So after really focusing on this and really trying to get this,
With
you
the second
find-
tricorder.
yes, you do find trace elements of Ferengi DNA in this mine shaft.
Oh.
It's really weird because there's no Ferengi on the colony.
No.
And you don't know if the Ferengi visited the mine shaft at all, but there's definitely elements, like there's places that are
Can I
Ferengi
tell how
nearby.
old is it?
With your critical success, it is about 2 months old.
2 months. Okay. So that would put it in terms of the timeline before they discovered the dilithium or after?
Just after. It was
after.
It puts it about the same time as the virus started to spread.
Okay. I'm definitely reporting this. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We're gonna cut back to the ship. You guys beam back up, head back to the bridge, and then we'll go to Cole as well here in a bit. But you get on the bridge, and there is a very irate Ferengi on the screen already when you come in, and Jumo says, like, looks at you and goes, "Captain, I was trying to wait for him. He's on mute right now." You see him like screaming, like, but he's on mute. Like he's just like. Like his mouth is moving like radically. It's like, you want me to unmute
everywhere.
it? Yeah. Do you want me to unmute it, Captain?
Wait, don't unmute it yet, Captain. Ferengi are very cutthroat when it comes to business. I don't know how much you have dealt with them. They are very misogynistic. So, if you need to really upset them, throw me into the ring.
I am indeed familiar with Ferengi politics. So,
I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about the rules of acquisition. Ferengi rule of acquisition number 192 is never cheat a Klingon unless you're sure you can get away with it. I will make sure he is not sure he can get away with it.
Very well. If it is your intention to invoke the ire of a misogynistic Ferengi, may I suggest you put on your jacket as well to further clothe yourself?
I like you, Captain. I always have.
I
Throw
gather.
on my jacket before I get in front.
Very well.
Before I go toward the...
Just like a parka.
Yeah. You just like grab like one of those like environmental
Command
coats that they have.
jackets.
Yeah. Like command jackets like on
jacket.
top of it, Yeah.
The gray, with the gray shoulders.
Yeah.
You have the con number 1, and I just sit back and I...
Unmute
Jumo.
now, Junmo.
Okay, Commander. Boop. And furthermore, you Federation types have no right to be in this space.
Oh, but we do.
Why is there a female on board on your ship?
I am Commander Baaj of the Klingon Empire, working for the Federation currently. What is your business here?
I have a contract for this colony. They owe me their dilithium, and I have sold their colony to the Romulans. They signed the contract. It is a legally binding document.
And what jurisdiction do you have to cause people to sign contracts here? Do you have...
What jurisdiction do you have? Last time I checked, this isn't Federation territory.
No, it is open space. So
What jurisdiction do you
nor
have?
is this your territory.
What jurisdiction do you have to tell me who I can and can't sign contracts with?
Well, given that some of these people below are Federation officers and former Federation officers, I believe we have a bit more jurisdiction with these people than you do. I would advise that you send a copy of that contract so we may review its legitimacy for ourselves.
Give me a command presence check. Difficulty 2.
May I assist?
At least somebody
doesn't
can
need it.
roll.
Doesn't need my assistance.
Just fucking command presence everywhere.
Where did it even roll? Oh,
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 successes.
2 successes. He goes, for a Klingon female, you know how to drive a hard bargain. I have the copy of the contract, but I'm not going to show it to you unless you come over to my ship.
Do it.
I will bring my captain with me.
Oh, no. Miss Commander, I only want your presence.
You will have your reply in about 5 minutes. Barge out.
Hangs up on him.
Captain, I think he is attracted.
That is a possibility. As far as I am aware, your added layers of clothes would have made you extra irresistible to the eyes of a Ferengi.
Perhaps I will put even more on. Ugh.
Commander, just don't forget rule number 153 of acquisition while you're over there.
I have to look that up myself.
I know, I'm like pulling it up. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sell the sizzle, not the steak. What is steak?
How does everyone in the Federation know the rules of acquisition?
Because everybody
Because we
has had
lost
to
a
deal with
shark or
Ferengi.
two.
And they say them all the time.
I feel
Like they just go around saying them.
I feel like there's a course in Starfleet Academy that's just the rules of acquisition. It's like Diplomacy 101. There's an entire unit on just Ferengi, and it's just like memorize the rules of acquisition.
There's 400, at least 431 rules of acquisition.
Yeah.
Canonically, ever since first contact with the Ferengi cartels, I have ensured that whenever I am in command of a detail, I make sure that my crew are familiar with the rules of acquisition. But what Ferengi are quite Ferengi.
That's a good way of putting it. Jumo kind of turns around and while you guys are talking and says, but Captain, Commander, it's important what the Ferengi say. They did sign a contract, and there's one thing that you should remember about the Ferengi. Rule of Acquisition 17. A contract is a contract is a contract.
Only to Ferengi.
But with only to Ferengi.
Well, that is true, and perhaps, maybe, we can spin that very same rule of acquisition on them.
Well, they'll be good to remember number 15. Deadmen close no deals.
Rule of acquisition number 6
We're just quoting rules of acquisition now. You guys were like waiting for a Ferengi to show up.
We do nothing but
you were waiting for the Ferengi to show up, and everyone just like pulling out my copy of the rules of acquisition time.
I got the paper, people.
Don't mind if I drop my rule.
But 284 states that deep down everyone is a Ferengi, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
So much fun. It's so heavy.
It's funny because
how are you remembering all of these? I'm here on the
they have
site.
a copy. They have copies up, on screen.
These are either going to be the most flattered or the most confused Ferengi side of the Bater sector.
There's like remedial courses that you take aboard the ship once in a while.
Let's cut back to Cole. Cole, you are with the governor showed you to a Tellarite man who is he reminds you a little bit of Weathers. He kind of has the same kind of like beard, similar kind of like hairstyle. And he's showing you around the facility. You seem to be quite impressed. You'd be quite impressed with what they've been able to do. They've been able to essentially reuse every part of their ship as either oxygen scrubbers. He even talks about how some of the beams in the dome are all made of recycled hull plating that they were able to scavenge, and the transparent aluminum that's used on the dome itself was able to be replicated using samples from their own transparent aluminum that was on the ship. So essentially, like everything was used on the ship to make this colony.
Well done. That being said, You've done an amazing job here with the limited resources that you had available to you, but let's see if we can't spruce things up. Assuming we
Please
can...
don't say nice colony. It would be a shame if something would happen
Someone
to
messes
it.
up. So, what do you want to do? He talks about how they repurposed their warp core to be to power the colony, but the warp core itself is not designed to run a colony, so they've had to jerry-rig it pretty badly. They have all the dilithium they need to run it, but it's like at the center of the colony. There's a big, like cylindrical object. It's made out of metal, and he leads you inside, and there's a giant warp core that's just chilling out in the middle of the colony.
Where are they getting the antimatter? Sorry.
Space.
Well, all right. You've certainly built something here. Your biggest problem is going to be the fact that you've got no buffer. This core is not designed to run a colony of this size, obviously, but I assume you have times of low energy usage versus peak energy usage. Right now, your core is just pumping out the same amount of energy all the time. You need an energy buffer.
Okay. Okay. You have the ability to build one of these? I was just a junior, engineer on board the ship. The main engineer died on the travel over here.
You guys had quite a journey. All right. I point to a data pad and grab it, and I punch in a bunch of parts, and I'm like, all right, bring me what you can of these, start replicating the rest. I'll start drawing up plans.
All right. So he leaves and tries to starts gathering the materials, and within maybe about 20-30 minutes, he's able to bring you back with most of the stuff. And if you want to start trying building one, give me a control engineering check. So much control. You know what? You can also do. I'll also let you use insight, daring, or reason as well with this, depending on which one's your biggest at. It'll determine how you built it, but
insight. So I'll use reason engineering then.
Okay.
I also ask him to gather up as much of his engineering crew to watch me assemble this first one as he can, because I'm not going to be here forever. Your people are going to need to know how to make these if this one fails. All right. I'm going to use a single momentum point because I don't have any focuses that will apply
difficulty
here.
2. Yeah, it's difficulty 2. Well,
unless reverse engineering applies here.
It could. I would say that a Narin could also come in because he's probably done by this point. But when you're starting to build it, if you haven't beamed out,
and I have jerry rigging as my
right.
Yeah,
you get assist.
Then I come over and Dal.
Yeah.
Working on building the colony some energy buffers to improve power efficiency coming off this warp core they've cobbled together. I could use a hand making sure that we're putting the right parts together. They don't exactly have what you would call standard issue equipment here.
Yeah, on my way. But at first I'd like to call up into the bridge and report what I found.
Okay. So you call up to the bridge. What do you say?
Yeah, and what is it? Captain, had some issues, but I was able to determine that there is Ferengi DNA in the mine shaft where this dilithium was found, and my scans indicate it showed up just as the outbreak of disease happened, and it was after the dilithium was found.
That is a curious yet expected outcome.
I will also send all the raw data from the tricorder up to so they can also analyze it further.
Called it. They were trapped.
Why is this data coming from Nagata's tricorder? What happened to yours?
Yeah.
Long story. And then I'll go to Dax and Cole to help out with
Secure out.
Yep. Gotta hang up. The captain's got to show dominance by hanging up first.
Yeah,
That's just the
yep,
rule,
yep.
you know. Live long and be gangsta.
All
right.
Because he has your rolled yet? No.
No,
No.
you can assist on him. So you with your
Yeah, I'm
with
gonna-
your focus. So
So yeah, and my focuses actually wouldn't really apply here. So
hey, 2 successes, but the assist could get you more. There we go. Everyone, you get one momentum back. So you're able to build it. You're kind of showing how to do it. You're reasoning through it and talking it out loud while the other engineers are watching you. And they all kind of like nod, and some of them are like taking data pad, typing on the data pads, like, yeah, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Some of them are a little bit more hesitant. They're kind of doing it, but they're like kind of looking at you side-eyed. They're like, You feel like they're kind of uncomfortable with you working on stuff.
I mean, whatever, frankly. Yeah. But once it's all done, I just pick it up and move it over to where one of the power conduits is, and all right, okay, this probably isn't hooked up to anything important, and I unplug it.
Okay.
Unplug the conduit and route it through the buffer.
Power throughout the entire community. Just
you unplug it, and then you hear someone in the distance go, "Why the fuck is the water so cold?" Like it just echoes across the place. Like a bunch of people come screaming about cold water, and then you put it back in, and they go, "Oh Jesus, why is it so hot now?" So
all right. Now the constant output from the warp core will feed into this buffer. You're probably going to need about 6 more, given the size of your colony. If you expand, obviously increase the number of buffers. What this is going to do is this is going to allow you to draw higher amounts of power during peak usage while storing the constant output and not wasting your energy during the low usage times at night.
And you can run the warp core overall at a lower capacity. Just because all the wasted energy is actually being stored instead of just wasting away.
So one of them goes, so it's like a battery.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an energy capacitor, yeah.
Okay. They all nod and the kind of stuff, and a couple of them wander off. Cut back to the ship. Bash, you've been asked to represent the crew and deal with it, find this contract, but only aboard the Ferengi ship.
Captain, I will go, but I would recommend that I always have a transporter lock ready and waiting in case something were to go down over there. I can't handle myself.
But by the way, Terzi, give me a control security check, because something pops up on your screen that seems odd about the Ferengi vessel. You're also muted. Okay.
I'm not muted.
Oh, no, okay. Good. I thought you said something and you weren't coming through. So there is a complication for this, but you are able to tell that the ship, for some reason, its shields are not modulated correctly. There are massive gaps in the shields that you could, easily transfer, you could easily beam someone over, or even fire and hit directly through their hull, kind of bypass the shields entirely. You can't seem to see why they are, but it seems like there's some major issues with that.
Interesting.
It kind of something was off about that ship, and you did a quick scan. And you're like, wow, that's weird.
Very well, number one.
There's something off their shield. They're modulating oddly.
Maybe they
might
need
be
the
able to-
dilithium.
We might be able to beam through it.
Interesting. Okay. Number one, you have my permission to beam aboard the Ferengi vessel. Mr. Terzi, ensure that you maintain a constant transporter lock on the XO. And I trust you to do what needs to be done the moment she hits her comm badge.
Hey, Captain. With your permission, Captain, I'd like to have Anarin assist me here in analyzing the fluctuations to see if there's any repeatable patterns.
I'm
Of
just,
course.
just walking around the outpost by now, just taking in the sights, checking out the infrastructure because I have no idea what's happening on the ship.
And suddenly, poof, you're on the bridge. Because
Or me next time.
But which bridge is he on?
You get beamed aboard the bridge.
The Ferengi.
Yes.
No.
To
Okay.
get
Well, I guess I should ask Paul, is there any equipment on the ground that he could use to assist in monitoring these patterns as well?
on the ground, no, but he could probably bring some scans or some portable devices to help him out, like transmission
Send
buffers.
some
that kind of
down.
thing.
I'm just trying to save the beaming up and down.
Because
That's
that
all.
takes
It was-
power.
it was-
Did we deduct 1 power for beaming down?
Yes, because this is a new scene, by the way, because you guys have done your investigations and done those stuff, so this is
okay.
a new scene. So this is a new
Lack of momentum.
lack of momentum. All the momentum is gone now. So because now you got to deal with how to deal with the Ferengi.
Very
So-
well. Beam him aboard. This is taking too much time. Beam him right in front of me right now.
Hi, Captain.
Bump. Yeah. So you're like mid stride, and as you're in mid stride, you're like you get beamed up, and you kind of like step right in front of Secure and stop and go.
My apologies, Dal. Time is of the
You are
essence.
not. Yes. Yes. Okay. What do you want me to do? What do you need me to do?
I
Walk
show
over to my
you
station.
I show you the fluctuations that I'm noticing in the Ferengi ship's shields.
Mhm.
I'd like to see if we can analyze these and see if there's any patterns that we can maybe take advantage of, not just with transporter, but weapons if needed later on.
All right. What would that be? What kind of check would that be? This
Control
is like a
science.
new control science. Okay.
Yeah.
This is just an assist, or am I actually the one doing this?
It'd probably be better if you do it and I assist.
Yeah.
Because this is more sciencey. I just happen to notice it.
Okay.
So what are you trying to guys to glean again? Just very specifically.
We're looking for any consistent patterns in the fluctuations
Okay.
in an attempt to figure out if we can use this beyond just transports. So, for example, if it comes to combat,
Yeah. Okay.
bypassing their shields would be nice.
Give me a control science difficulty 3.
Control science difficulty 3. Eek.
Mm.
Okay.
With the assist of the ship, and of course, I
Yes.
think Terzi's going to try
Assist
to.
I'll be
of
assisting.
features.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the ship's assist?
Ship's assist would be sensors science.
We need just one.
Does anybody have the ship handy? Oh.
Nope.
Right.
Darn it.
You can succeed at all costs if you want to. Take a complication, but you'll succeed. That's up to you. Because there is the option. You can succeed no matter what.
Is that that's the thing everybody can do, or is it
Anyone
the
can
case
do
value?
it depends on the situation, but almost all the actions you take can succeed no matter what. But you take a complication.
Fine.
Okay. So you're able to find a good pattern. The reason why you're able to find a good pattern is because the Ferengi shields seem to have had some contact with the electromagnetic ionic eddies that you guys have been seeing in the Expanse. So something seemed like that radiation seems to have damaged their shields in some way. They may not know that their shields are damaged, but you can easily fire photon torpedoes or phasers through their shields at this point.
GM.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a lapse for a second. Would it be possible for Dal to re-roll 1d20 to see if he does or doesn't have that complication?
Yes, you can, because you're ordering him to do so.
Okay, just reroll one.
Hey, no complication. So you're able to do
Nice.
it. The complication I would have thrown you guys at is that they knew you scanned them, and so they were going to try to fix their shields. But now they don't know. You're able to scan them pretty covertly. So, but
The
they still think they're.
Command I win button.
Yeah. So you guys have you guys want to contact the Ferengi ship, because if you just beam her over, they'll know that you have some ways of beaming over her with their shields up. But
Yeah, I was gonna actually request that they beam me over.
Let's sit back again. And allow
Alright.
Boss to do a thing.
Terzi, if you would please open up a channel to them.
Aye, Commander.
channel's open. The Captain Rock kind of is looking off to the side and kind of looks at you and goes, "Have you made your decision?"
Yes, one to beam over.
Excellent. Excellent. Rock out. And close, you know.
Don't forget your special batleth.
Yeah, I definitely have a batleth and
Okay. Full
my
weapons and all that
usual.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
I don't have a phaser rifle, but obviously I have like
Yeah.
type 2 and a batleth and my freaking knife that I'm supposed to have on me at all times because I'm a Klingon.
So you beam over, and they beam you over directly into the quarters of the captain. The lights are low. Some soft
God.
music is playing.
Oh,
There's some
The
champagne on
Love-nasium.
ice. And
Is
in
the
walks-
bed in the shape of a heart?
It is exactly in the shape of a heart. Welcome
It
to
is the
Zap
Zap Brannigan's Love-nasium.
Welcome to Zap Brannigan, the Ferengi.
oh man.
So he walks in and kind of like leans against the doorframe and says, "Hello, Commander. It's so nice to be able to negotiate in such intimate conditions." He walks up and then kind of takes a seat on the couch and kind of like pats it and says, "Join me, Commander."
My favorite part of the woman is the lobes.
No. Yeah, she goes over to the couch.
Okay.
The opposite side of the bed.
The opposite side. Like, yeah, she's gonna make sure there's distance.
Okay.
But not so much so that he'll take it as an insult.
Yeah. He'll chuckle a little bit, and then he'll reach into his coat and then pull out a flower and hand it to you. And then reaches into his coat and pulls out a data pad and goes, "My dear Commander, you wanted this to see the contract?
Yes.
Well, rule of acquisition 17. A contract is a contract is a contract. So, no matter what you
Between
do,
Ferengi.
you know your rules. I'm surprised. I'm impressed. From a non-Ferengi.
I come from a political family.
Well, you're too late. I have the contract. Now, it hasn't been signed yet, you see, by the Romulans, so I'm maybe interested in working a deal.
Let me review the contract before any deals are.
He hands it to you.
And I just start reading it.
Soft jazz is playing in the background.
Of course it is. Of course it is. You should have had some soft jazz loaded up.
I will pull up some soft jazz real quickly.
Let me just ask this question. You like jazz?
What's that one song?
The B movie.
And I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feeling, God,
This is
no
perfect.
rhythm.
I'm gonna link this in the Discord so you can know what I'm playing.
I'm gonna track you gently.
Oh my god.
Here. There we go.
Ah.
Smooth jazz.
Hope you like saxophones.
God.
Oh God!
This reminds me of like going to Albertsons as a kid.
Would Baaj recognize it as human jazz, or would this be Ferengi jazz?
This is human jazz. He's got an interesting taste. He makes a comment as he hands you the contract. He says, I've always been interested in what it's like to enjoy the company of non-Ferengi females. They've always titillated my interests.
Baaj has made the internal decision at this point that it might be best to roll with this. Not anything, not anything bad. Just play into this.
He hands you the contract.
Yeah, and then I'm just I'm looking over the contract at the same time I'm speaking to him, because I'm Klingon, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently.
Rule of acquisition 113.
Yep. Wait, now I gotta find it.
I mean, I was thinking roll of acquisitions 112, but I don't know if that works.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, she's reading. There's.
How about 108?
True. That's true too. If you're listening to this or watching this at home, I'm going to make you look up the rules of acquisition to understand these references.
Yeah, I highly recommend that you just have it open just in general while we're doing this. Everybody in chat, like literally everybody should just pull it up right now. Just Google it. It's the first result. That way you can follow along. But yeah, she's reading and he says that and she just says, "Oh, well, my dear Captain Rock."
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah.
My dear Captain Rock, what so much entices you about non-Ferengi women?
Oh, I don't know. Ferengi women seem so plain and submissive. I like my females to be more dominant, in control. He is practically slobbering at this point, by the way. He is and he's moving towards you, like very close, carefully inching towards you as he's talking.
Paul, just give me a second here. Okay, I gotta.
I will say that this episode only exists because I know that that Buster is watching the Deep Space Nine for the first time. So she made questions about Ferengi being misogynistic trolls, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be perfect then.
Yeah, she just says to him, she says, "Do you know how Klingon women mate?"
I've heard it's a very violent experience.
Are you sure that you are hard as rock? That sounds awful! Well, his name's Rock. I was trying to make a joke, and it's horrible.
And he's done. All right,
I didn't mean it like that. I meant like, are you sure you're a hard enough man to deal with this? Guys!
This is getting better.
The phrase.
I get what you're saying.
No, it's not.
And he is taking it the wrong way.
On the next week on the USS Innuendo.
Oh, Jesus. But anyway, yeah, she's just like, are you sure you're hard enough to
He
deal with
stretches his arm across and kind of like puts it across and says, I can show you. But first, let's talk business.
Alright, she just starts, and of course she's just reading. She's probably quiet for a while she reads, having to listen to this jazz. All up in that jazz. And with that said, okay, what are the parameters of this are there any loopholes in this contract that I can identify?
Okay, you note that I'm gonna turn the smooth jazz down a little bit.
I have to turn it down too. I have to just, yeah.
Turn it up.
It's my jam. So you find out that he's done something fucky. It's obvious that the contract was for the dilithium that they signed. You see the thumbprint and of Lorimor. There's a thumbprint there. It seems to check out. He's added an addendum after that. You don't know when this was added, but it doesn't look like it was originally part of the contract. And he's trying to claim that this is part of the contract now. Essentially, he already got her thumbprint. He's just changing the contract.
I have altered the agreement. Pray I don't alter it further.
A contract is a contract is a contract, but only between Ferengi.
And she's gonna she's gonna keep reading with, she's gonna see that. She's gonna keep reading. Is there anything in this contract that's a loophole because that's kind of a loophole. He added an addendum after it was signed.
Yes, it is also waiting for the thumbprint of a Romulan official. It is not signed by the Romulans yet.
Okay.
Give me an insight command check as well, and I'll tell you if there's any loopholes.
Okay. Sure, I'm rolling mine.
Out of character, but rule of acquisition 15 comes to mind.
I gotta look it up now. Yep.
Yep. She said that one earlier.
Based off of your just glancing through, there does seem to be this. He's a misogynistic troll. There is a loophole in there about the contract being null and void if the governor were to sleep with Rock.
I don't think I'm going to convince her to do that, and I should never convince her to do that.
Just out of character, 15 isn't on the list. What's 15?
It's in the beta. You have to go to the beta.
Memory beta fandom.
Memory beta, yeah, because it's all. Those are all from the reference books and the novels and stuff like that. Yeah, not all from the show. Some of them are from the show, but
yeah. So she sees that. She also thinks there's probably a way. If in the back of her mind, she's also thinking if we could play the situation right, we could make him think that happened.
Mm-hmm. He kind of, as you're reading it, he kind of leans over and goes, "I'm willing to negotiate further."
Name your terms.
Well, you're a Federation starship. I assume you have photon torpedoes?
You would assume correctly.
Your entire complement of photon torpedoes would sell very well on the arms market.
Noted.
And, based off of my ship's scans of your vessel, it seems some very interesting facts. Your engines seem to be modified of some kind. Some sort of buffer, as well as some strange readings which my engineer says could help your ship travel through those electromagnetic eddies we see. That technology might be worth the deal.
Now, what's the deal?
Well, not just yet. Maybe we should make a little bit more deals just between us, Commander.
I'm going to reach over and stroke his lobe.
You're gonna give him Umox? All right,
I was
roll
thinking
for
we
Umox.
should send
roll for
send our
Umox.
entire complement of photon torpedoes to them.
I was literally thinking of that. I was thinking, oh, I know a way we can send those photons.
Yes, we agreed to send them. They're on their way.
She's basically going to stroke his lobe as sort of a way to continue to sweeten him up.
Okay. Give me a daring command with that one, because that's a bold move, Commander. To give an unsuspecting Ferengi some Umox.
Roll for Umox.
Roll for Umox.
But with disadvantage because of those Truckosaurus hands of yours.
Oh, shut up! Don't you start the Truckosaurus shit with me.
All right, so yeah, he is instantly putty, like almost instantly as you rub his ears. It's like, maybe not the engine, but I definitely need something to sell. I can't. The Romulans are going to be very angry. Oh man, you've done Umox before, haven't you?
What I will say is that your contract is not. The current state of your contract is not useful. It is not. It is null and void. And you want to know why?
He's just putty. He's just listening.
It's because it was signed before you added this addendum.
He kind of pulls away.
Own the colony.
He pulls away and goes, That's between me and your Federation courts. The Romulans think otherwise. Would you rather deal with them?
Well, I'm pretty good at dealing with Romulan.
All right, give me one more presence command check with that.
Presence command this time, not daring. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
How
Okay.
many momentum do we have, by the way?
Let's see. You nailed the inside command, and then you did. Yeah, so we have one momentum from that.
Okay.
From the Grand Nagus for damn Umox, yeah. So he kind of like relaxes a little bit and goes, if you told the Romulans this, I would be dead. I can negotiate with the Romulans, but I still need something. I need more than just these dilithium. I need your torpedoes. It's the only way I can make this work. I'm a businessman. Can't make money without product.
I'll consider it. But for now, I should return to the ship and think over this.
Oh, but my dear commander, we've just started our negotiations. Why don't you just take a break? Over here. And he gestures towards the bed.
I'm not having sex with him.
Just leave then. I mean, he's not...
I'd rather leave you wanting. And then she double taps her thing to be beamed over. And she still has a data pad in her hand.
Yeah.
So she stole the contract.
You beam over?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Done.
so he is absolutely confused because the shields are still up, and you were able to beam over because of the back over with the contract in hand.
Fine with me.
Do we
I
have
think-
a lawyer aboard the ship?
Starfleet.
Starfleet, yeah.
Starfleet.
How? So you, like, from what you can gather so far, is that this contract doesn't seem to be legitimate. It wouldn't hold up any Federation court, but it's going to take a while for the Federation courts to work out. And in the meantime, there is a Romulan warbird that is coming in the next couple of days.
Yeah, as soon as I'm aboard, I just hand that contract to Secure, and I'm like, well, I have the contract. Ugh.
Very well done. Number one.
What did it cost?
I think it's for the best if we didn't ask.
Don't worry, he didn't get in my pants. But I will say, and I and she points out, she kind of scrolls through it and shows the captain. She says, right here, if you notice.
Mm-hmm. It would
Don't
appear.
look at me like that right now.
Oh,
I know, I'm just making a dumb joke. She scrolls it through and she shows the addendum that he added. And she says, "This addendum was added after the signing of the contract with the colony." So I let him know that this part of the contract was void. Now, he is claiming that he is pretty much dead in the water if the Romulans show up, and what was promised is not there to be promised. So, he, not that I think this is legitimate, he would like our torpedoes to sell to them. And possibly he was able to determine that we are able to navigate the eddies safely.
How?
Scans.
I'm guessing we wouldn't have detected them scanning us for any sort of technology
No.
like that. Hmm.
And given the fact that I beamed back over,
They now know. Okay,
So
I'm gonna start scanning their shields to see if they're starting to fix themselves.
Give me another control science, difficulty 1. Because you already know what it is. It's just
Yeah.
but as
Either
you
way.
stated, Dal, we may have proof that they tampered with those dilithium crystals in order to spread that virus.
We do. Yes, we do have their DNA at
Recorded.
location.
Is Cole still down on the surface?
yeah. Also, I'm gonna cut to Nagata because Nagata is still down on the surface as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nagata is being talked to by
By the way, we now have 2 momentum.
yeah
'Cause I
Sharon,
was-
Dr. Sharon. He's an Andorian, and Sharon is kind of shows you around and goes, hey, my friend, your fellow doctor. And he shakes his hand, Dr. Sharon.
Hey, brother, doctor dude.
Yeah, I like you. You're very relaxed. I like that, doctor. So I've been told that you have to. You're looking for some virology samples. I'm not a virologist myself, so I did my best, but I was able to get some samples. If you'd like to take a look at it.
That I would. Pass them here.
So give me a knowledge. Keep going back to the wrong things.
Knowledge.
A
Right.
reason science check. I'm sorry, reason medicine check. A reason medicine check.
Reason medicine check.
And with a focus, because he has exobiology. I think he also has virology as part of his.
I also have virology. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Double focus.
So reason medicine, and I got a focus and task roll.
Task
And
roll
we
is
have two momentum.
and difficulty
by the way.
is 2.
Two. All right. Complication range.
1.
2. 1. Okay. Roll.
Not quite.
Not quite.
You can succeed
Oh.
with complication, or
I would like to invoke my value. I can heal the universe.
okay. There we go. It's double success. That is one of his value for determination.
All
can heal
right.
the universe.
All right. I can heal the universe.
Yep.
One colony at a time.
So he is able to tell. You're able to tell that this is 100% a Ferengi virus that has been modified, genetically modified, to infect everyone, all of the species that are present on the colony.
This isn't good. In fact, this is the opposite. All right. Well, what do I do with this? I guess I'll. Nagata to secure. Secure here. I may have found the nature of this Ferengi flu. Is that so? Send your reports over to Dal as soon as you can, and we'll try and make use of it. Thank you very much. All right, secure out.
Secure has to hang up on himself when he's playing.
So meta. This is so meta.
All right. So you get transmission from Nagata. You can verify that this is in fact a Ferengi virus that was modified to infect humans, Andorians, Trill, Tellarites, that kind of stuff. So,
Suspiciously, only the species
that are on
in
the
the
planet.
in the colony.
Yeah.
They couldn't have made this more on the nose if they wanted.
The Ferengi.
Ferengi,
Does that mean we, any of us, will be? Has
There-
any of the crew have been infected?
Oh no, because that was the instant that when we did the virus, that's what Nagato was scanning for. Because Nagato was like virus, foo,
okay.
and there was no
Okay.
presence. It was just that antibodies were present in the people that he scanned.
'Cause
So
it sounds like there were no Klingons down there anyway, so it wouldn't have affected
or
me at all.
Betazoids.
yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, just curious.
What about Helians?
no
Oh, yeah.
Hylians.
Asking for a friend.
No Hylians. Yeah.
I'm gonna die.
Human.
What are you talking about? Sorry, Bobby Hill. Bobby Hill.
Just,
I'm talking here.
it's just Cole. Cole's the only one gonna die.
Mm.
I'm
Sure, give him a
coughing
second.
here.
Okay, so what is your plan?
Well, we have several options here. With the evidence that we have unequivocal evidence that the Ferengi were up to no good. We could try and hail the Romulan ship and have some discourse with them regarding the foul play of the Ferengi.
Let's
They-
look at. Oh, I was gonna say, is there a name? I was just gonna ask, is there a name for the Romulan involved on the contract?
Yes, I have
Okay.
to find the name.
all.
In
That's-
my
that's all.
experience, Romulans don't really strike me as the honorable type. So, appealing to their moral side may not be as fruitful as we may hope.
However, we did just help Romulans recently. Perhaps we have gained some
That is
reputation in
true.
the Star Empire.
That once again may be true. However, Dal is correct. Romulans do not necessarily tend to honor such things.
They would also be not really enticed to honor a contract, especially with a Ferengi.
That is once again true. Besides, if the Romulans are made aware of the foul play of the Ferengi, even though the foul play was to members of the Federation, they would not necessarily want to go into a deal with people that, for lack of a better term, are untrustworthy.
Well, perhaps contacting them would be just.
Jumo pipes up a little bit and goes, Captain, if I might interject a little bit.
You may?
The Romulans, I don't know many, but they always strike me as very political, always wanting to be on their own right side. And it would probably not look too good if they were caught red-handed with a Ferengi buying a Federation colony, even if it's not Federation, still, Federation people who are asking for help, finding out that they were swindled by infecting the colony with a virus and swindling them out of the colony itself. That doesn't play too well in the intergalactic political scheme or interstellar political scheme.
A good
We're
point.
worth a shot.
Very well. I appreciate your counsel, Jumo. Well,
Yep.
in that case, I suppose all we can do now is wait for the Romulans to appear and state our case.
Or, Captain,
Or,
we could contact the Romulan vessel we helped recently and tell them of this situation, and that will spread like wildfire.
that is true. There are no such thing as secrets within... Wait, no, never mind. That is true. That is worth a shot. Very well. I will leave it to you and Mr. Terzi to arrange that as we await the other Romulans.
Terzi, see if you can find a way to open some sort of communication with that Romulan vessel from recently.
Sure.
The name of that ship you guys were able to gather from them, because you talked with them a little bit before they beamed over
Yeah,
and
yeah.
such, was the IRW I didn't come with make this up. This is actually their own. This is something from the actual module. The IRW Tavern. T. I swear to God, I didn't do that. That was already like a pre-made one. Yeah. Tavern. It's T, VAREN. Tavern.
Open up any kind of subspace or any channel with Tavern.
Yeah, is that something I would be able to do?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
you
do
have to
it,
give
science boy.
you need to give me a calm.
Control con.
Yeah, control con check. Or no, give me a insight con check, because you're gonna try to kind of like you have their.
I
subspace
love saying
coordinates.
this. I'd rather do insight con than control con.
Okay. Hey,
Rather pay you Tuesday.
And
I was
the
gonna-
difficulty on that was
there was 2, so because you already had the subspace like transponder from it and all that kind of stuff. So you're able to send a subspace message, but it is definitely not going to be a person to person. It's too far away. So you'll be able to send a long like just a message to them, like a video message, and they'll receive it in a couple of hours.
And so, obviously, we'll leave that to the captain.
And the message is for okay.
We're trying to start political drama.
All right. Romulan, attention, Romulan starship IKR Tavern. This is Captain Secure of the Federation starship Vasquez. You may remember us from previous episodes, such as saving your life. We are in the midst of a Ferengi Romulan trade deal going south. The aforementioned Ferengi are once again up to their old ways and are trying to leverage the Romulan Star Empire into a shady deal, which would not look very well upon your political structure, even for something or other, yada yada, a blah blah. Do I have to roll now because I failed my speech?
You'd have to do it anyway. It's a command presence check.
Okay.
I'll assist him.
Yeah.
And I'll add to the speech. I'll also jump into the video and say, the Ferengi have swindled both the colonists involved as well as the Romulans, the Romulan ship that is on its way to sign said contract. They added an addendum that was not signed upon by the colony's governor, and not only that, but they planted a virus in order to get the colonists sick, and then later reap the benefits of reap a deal in order to they exchange the antidote to the virus for the colony's dilithium. However, they added the addendum that they now own the colony, which they are going to sell to a Romulan ship, a Romulan political figure. We advise you.
Go on.
We advise you that perhaps you can give us further information on the ship. That's X ship. This, and the parties involved. So we may contact them ahead of time in order to put this to rest before they make it all the way over here. They are due in 4 days.
Once more, we have recovered some curious data transmissions from the Ferengi that indicate that they may have actually been trying to impose this same virulent strain on your ship as well. So,
That's definitely a command presence check, because you're lying. So,
well, I'm simply
I will
using the
assist him in
Ferengi's.
lie.
I'm simply only using the Ferengi's own
Extrapolating.
rules against this. Yeah, I mean, like, rule of acquisition 266. When in doubt, lie.
I will assist him. With
Isn't
this.
secure supposed to be like? Isn't your one of your values that you're always truthful or something?
That is not correct.
that's a Vulcan trait that they don't lie, but there's a difference between lying and extrapolating the truth or stretching the truth, as many Vulcans have found out over the years.
And he's a Federation captain. Like he
Yeah.
has to lie sometimes for the better group. For
Yeah.
the needs of the
many.
few sometimes outweigh the needs of the many, and vice versa.
This is a logical conclusion that might be interpreted in many ways, and to the simple human observer, I might have seemed to have been lying. However, to a more elevated Vulcan mind, I was in fact just conclusion.
Just breaking up.
He was
Yeah.
riffing it.
I was, in fact, also
Yeah.
still lying.
And I'm going to assist him.
Okay,
I
go
mean,
for it.
it's not a stretch to assume they might do that.
So what is it? Control and command?
It's a command
presence
presence command.
Command presence. Okay. Presence and command. All right.
You can also use a daring command if you like, both for either of you, whichever one is more.
So here is not very daring.
But
So,
for like the assistance.
Both of mine are equal, so it doesn't matter for me.
What is my task roll?
It's task roll 2. Difficulty would be a 3, and it is complication range 3.
We have 3 momentum.
I would like to use all 3 momentum.
Also, I just wanted to say that I am not cut out for command because presence command is my lowest possible combination.
Yeah.
So I add 3 more dice, right?
3 more dice, so it'd be a total task
Task
roll
roll
of 5.
Okay.
Ooh, 1 complication. That's okay though. So you had 4 or 5 successes, and you needed 3, so you have 2 more momentum. There is a slight complication to it. It's going to take exactly 3 days for this message to reach the ship. So by the time the Romulan ship arrives, it will reach the other ship.
Okay. Well, in that case, I want a copy of that message, and I want to send it to the Romulan ship that is also arriving at.
Okay. Give me a science control science check, Anarin, so you can try to find the ship in long range sensors.
And
Okay.
sensor science for the ship.
Yeah, sensor science. Hey, that's what you needed. Well, you only needed 2.
Oh, it was
so
a 3.
It was a 2.
Oh,
it was
okay.
a 1. It was a 2. So you guys get an additional 1. I keep gotta remember to give you the difficulty ones before you guys roll. So, you guys
Also,
are.
I guess Sakir could have ordered himself to do this, so he could re-roll it with a 0.
No, but
No.
Buster could do it because she has one per scene she can use.
What 0?
My
the 0,
zero.
that his 0.
Captain, fix this.
It's like she's like advising the captain. She's like as a command. She's like, hey, this is wrong. You know, she's doing the number 1 thing. You know,
Captain, that will take far too long. We must fix that.
Yes, ma'am. I shall try.
Hey,
Yay!
Hey.
do you still want to send a copy to the other ship because now it'll arrive in like a day?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
Let's
you
go
guys-
viral.
You send 1 copy to. God, that pun, that Vulcan pun.
Wait, it took me a second.
You send 1 to the ship that's approaching and 1 to the Romulan ship in the distance. Now we're going to pause, take a quick break, because as you do this, a message comes through from the Ferengi. Captain Rock is very irate and shouts, "You Federation cowards! You stole my contract, and now you've somehow destroyed my shields. You must leave now, or I will deal with you myself."
Oh, by the way, I
Weapons are powering up on the Ferengi
before I
vessel.
roll to check whether they're fixing their shields, and you never gave me the.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. I'm sorry that they were now trying to fix their shields. You know.
All right, break time.
It's not done though. It's being worked on. So we are
Okay,
powering their
so-
weapons, and now cut to commercial break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere, guys.
I believe I heard a red alert right before we went.
Nope. Red alert.
Red alert.
Hail them, Tersey. Or
Very
are they
well.
already hailing us?
Oh, would Cole have beamed back onto the ship by this point?
It depends on how much work there was still to do down on the surface.
They seem to pretty much have it handled in the time period that like they were spending like negotiating all that kind of stuff. It seemed pretty well in hand. That was probably the biggest issue was the warp core. Everything else seems really well maintained. You're really impressed by like how little they've been able, with how much little they've been able to like make things work. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of they've jerry-rigged their warp core pretty badly. But you know, that was probably
Then
the
I
biggest one.
likely would have, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
What about
So
Nagata?
Nagata would have definitely come back after he found out the Ferengi virus thing. He would have come back
Yep.
immediately. I think the captain even asked him to come back once the information sent up. Was that right?
Like, sure.
Okay. So everyone's back on the ship for this, just because for this. Otherwise, Nagata and Cole will be stuck on the planet with the shields up.
As soon as Cole arrived back on the ship, I would have sent to his terminal everything I learned about the shields on their ship and said, make sure this isn't a problem for us.
Cool. More
All
like
right.
Daxon cool.
Daxon cool.
Oh my God.
Are we still on comms with the Ferengi?
No, he hung up.
Deal
Okay.
He hung up on you.
Oh no!
And powered
Fire
weapons.
torpedoes!
I want Tersey to broadcast him to him, even if he's gonna hang up on it. He's still gonna broadcast him the video of like me ripping a chair out of the floor and throwing it.
What? Did you throw something?
Yeah, women. You Klingon women throw
I'm not
heavy objects,
broadcasting
man.
that.
Are you actually pulling out a chair out of the floor, or is it just a faked video?
No.
Would you have something like this?
Is
at
it like
the
a
Red Tea?
recorded? Is there like a recorded video of Baj just like going absolutely ape shit and ripping a chair out of the bulkhead?
There's probably one of a table, but not a chair.
Yeah, this is the table.
No,
The Nazca knockouts.
just send him video of me tearing a chair out of the floor, like as I do it, and just send him video because I'll do it right there on the bridge, right there. I'm just tearing my chair off the floor. Don't you know, like when
Commander,
men and women do a thing, like the women throw heavy objects.
Yeah. Okay, you're trying to negotiate, so being like, is this your attempt at trying to say you'd be down for the giant heart-shaped bed? Is that what you're trying to imply?
Yes.
Okay.
I did really
Right.
bad at trying to do stuff last time, so I'm just
So
gonna do the thing.
give me a fitness security check for ripping the chair. It's going to be a fitness security check of difficulty 4 because it's bolted into the deck.
We have 4 momentum.
as she starts to do this, as she's describing what she's going to do, Commander, wouldn't you rather do this on the holodeck where it's less damaging and
Yeah. I like.
frankly a little
I don't want to
easier?
get beamed there, but I'll
It's
add
power.
book it.
And the chair doesn't have to be bolted to the floor on the holodeck.
Yeah.
That was my point.
Well, it'll look cooler if I do that.
Okay.
Guys.
So you run
It's
off
gonna
to
look the same!
holodeck.
Just Captain, I'll be right back. And I do
Alright.
that really fast.
All right, so you go into it's going to take you about a minute or so to get to the holodeck with the turbo lift.
And as she's on her way there, I'm writing the program. It's gonna look the same as being ripped out
Yeah.
of a bulkhead, but the bolts are gonna be pretty weak.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
As you do that, you get another signals coming in as you're trying to write it with one hand. You're like, oh, geez, and another signal's coming in from Captain Rock.
I do have faceted attention, so I can deal with that.
Okay, so you bring up the comms.
Yeah.
Okay, so Captain, you see the Rock appear back on the screen, and he basically says, "I want my property back. You stole my contract. I am within my rights to get it back by force if I need to.
Well, I left that on the bridge.
I know, but he's the contract.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
on the bridge of our ship. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just sitting there.
Yeah, he sees it. He's that one right there. I want it back.
Captain Rock, once again, I would like to let you know that what you try to do here on this planet is completely unlawful. At this point, I signaled to Terzi to send the same hail that I sent to the Romulans to him, including the lie, or the Vulcan truth.
The Vulcan truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Vulcan truth and nothing but the truth. So
Okay, so as you
something.
signal for him to do it, Terzi sends it over, and so he pulls it up and kind of watches it, and you see him watching inside. He goes, "You're lying! You have no evidence to say that I'm going to infect the Romulans. You're just trying to make your own position better."
Rule of acquisition 267. If you believe it, they believe it.
He narrows his eyes and looks at you and goes, "Is your whole crew vested in the rules? Your commander quoted one to me too."
We have had dealings with Ferengi before. The cartel are not an unknown entity within the Federation. There is currently a Romulan bird of prey.
Warbird.
There is currently a Romulan warbird on its way to this planet. What say you, Captain Rock? Will you stay here and try and negotiate with evidence on our ship of a Ferengi manufactured virus that is capable of infecting not only Federation members but also Romulans as well? Wait, can the virus do a thing on Vulcans too?
Yes.
Mm.
So it
On
can infect
Romulans
Romulans
as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because they're cousins. They're
Yeah.
almost the same species.
Yeah, similar
Yeah.
genetic code.
At this point, I arch a huge eyebrow.
Give me. This is going to be big. This is a difficulty 4 command
Damn it.
presence.
I just left
Okay.
the bridge. I should have.
Well,
I want to
secure-
assist on this.
Okay. How are you going to
Four
assist?
momentum.
Tell me how you.
How much
you're gonna
momentum do we have?
4.
Or
Don't forget
Okay.
your determination.
I do have determination.
You haven't used
So
it
what-
this episode.
I have not. So what am I using? What attributes and disciplines?
It is command presence.
Command and presence. Okay. And okay, I'll use my focus, diplomacy, persuasion,
Mhm.
and as for values, because I do have a determination. Oh no.
What?
It looks like Baaj isn't here, so I can't use the one where I trust in Baaj's decisions. Okay, number 3. No puzzle is impossible, just improbable, because like we have sussed out this massive thing and
Mhm.
Good
I'll
one.
allow it. I'll allow it. I think this is fine.
okay.
It is a puzzle-like situation.
Now, I do want to point out, because we haven't done this in the past, and I wanted to talk with you at some point anyways. Every time you use a determination point, it will be a changing point in your character. Your character will develop in a certain way. So, for instance,
Right.
because Anarin used his determination for technology, we'll discuss this offline about like how that may have changed his character. And you've already used one in the past with the saving the commander of that space station. And
Yeah.
now you're doing so we'll have something to do with like the like your bold decisiveness,
Okay.
and everyone will kind of the next time we meet we'll do a full kind of like boost up. It's
maybe
weird
we'll
how
meet before for like
Yeah.
an hour before instead of just 30. Yeah.
yeah, and so we
Okay.
can do the setup. But anyways, just want to let you guys know that like, determination is not just like, hey, we got determination, I can use it whenever I want. It's like this is whenever you do, it will change your character in some way.
makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as for dice being rolled, we have 4 momentum, so the task roll is 5.
The task roll is 4.
4.
And you have 2 successes critical already, so you still need to
Okay.
make 2 more.
Okay. All right, and so in that case, I'll use 1 momentum then to bring it up to 5 rolls. Then, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Focus use complication range.
Complication range 2.
Okay. Rolling.
Woo, woo, Captain.
The
Fine, I'll
captain
sit down.
is staring down the Ferengi with all of this evidence, massive arched, Vulcan eyebrow, just dead cold at Captain Rock. Captain Rock looks at you and goes, smiles a little bit. Well played, Captain. Well played. You are quite the businessman. You know how to negotiate. This is the last time you've seen me. Rock out.
Rock
You say this is?
Okay.
You should have said it like that.
This is the last
If
time
I-
you see
if
me,
I-
or isn't?
He says, "Is." That's all. He kind of like trails it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
As soon as I get the video, though, I'm still sending it.
He starts
she's
moving
like
away.
totally unaware.
He moves it away. Give me a presence, or no, it's a fitness and command check, or fitness security check for throwing that chair. Nope.
Even
in the
when it's
holodeck.
rigged,
Even in the
even when
holodeck.
it's rigged. I guess
made it
Tuesday made the
easy.
bolt
You can s-
stronger instead of
You
weaker.
can succeed with complications.
No.
Okay.
I don't want the complication to be that he's gonna hound dog me every time he sees me.
I don't transmit
Actually-
it, but I do store that footage for later.
Like it,
Wait, I command myself to do better. I'm re-rolling.
Hey.
It's a
Okay.
new scene. It's a new scene.
Oh, so you did succeed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did succeed.
I'm
Oh,
sending
you're
it.
sending it. Yeah.
Okay, so
That was the last order. It was
the last
send
order
it,
said.
so.
So he's flying away, and you send a transmission of Commander Baash ripping a chair out and throwing it across the bridge, the simulated bridge, and just like. So before they get off of things, Commander Baash, you got a private communications from
Of course
Captain
I do.
Rock. It's not video; it's just text only, and the text essentially says, "My dear
want some?
Commander, we will meet again, and then we'll see how good your umaks are." It even says written out in text. Sincerely, your lover, Captain Rock.
My God.
Yeah, it's spelled out.
I smashed.
Ferengi emoji.
Now,
I smashed the
just
data
wait,
pad.
Now we just wait for Baj to get back to the bridge and say, "Did it work?"
Yeah, that's what happened. She's like, before she gets the text, she's like, wait, are we at red alert anymore?
You're still a little.
It worked.
Standing down.
Did you guys see the video? Did he just back off because of the video?
Well done, number 1.
Ah. And then I get the text, and I'm just like, and I smash the data pad. I just throw it and toss it
Throw it.
on the ground.
Oh.
I
All right.
Apparently, you're quite intimidating, Commander.
The Romulans in your long range scans to actually stop and turn around. You don't get a response from the Romulans, but it seems like the Romulans are no longer on approach. In fact, you actually see the Romulans. They don't turn around. They actually start tracking the Ferengi vessel as it's trying to leave. You can see them just like tracking it, trying to follow it as it's going away.
Did we get a response from the other Romulan vessel?
No, it'll take a while. It'll take about a day or so. In the meantime, though, you get a comms from the colony.
On screen.
Brings it up, and it's Governor Laura, Governor Moore, and she goes, Captain Sakir, our sensors indicate that the Ferengi vessel has left the system. Is this true?
That is correct.
It seems whatever you have done seems to have worked. I assume we owe you a debt.
Whilst no debt is necessary, what did you have in mind?
We are willing to extend our operations and to sell to give the Federation the first load of our dilithium as thanks for your help. I'm sure that the Federation and the Klingon Empire could use more refined, more pure dilithium in their efforts to explore the Shackleton Expanse.
Very well. That is a most gracious offer. We shall accept your thanks. I turn to Secure out. Bye.
Okay.
I turn to I turn to Dal and I go, I take it that you were nothing out of the ordinary.
Can you say that again? You broke up just then.
I take it that your findings with the dilithium, nothing out of the...
Broke up a little bit, but he's asking about the dilithium.
Yes, the dilithium is very rich. It's a very pure form of dilithium, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm sure our chief engineer would be very eager to get his hands on it.
So
Okay.
wait, just to clarify, am I dying of some weird Ferengi space virus?
Tune in next week to find out.
No, man, you're good. Though, if you're worried about some viruses, I've got some deep breathing exercises and some essential oils, which I know can work wonders, man.
You can deep breathe. You know what? Never mind. Thank you, Nagata. I'll be on the holodeck.